Peace, everybody. Will Focus of the Photo Takeover here. I'm back, but this time I am doing a review of some software that I touched on before. Now, last time I touched on this software, I was talking about the plugin version of it, which was, a more simplified version. What they did was they came out with a desktop app, and now you can actually bring your images into the standalone desktop app. It's really robust, and I'm going to technically be looking at it for the first time. Like, I opened it before, but I didn't really get a chance to dive in. So I want you guys to come with me for the first time to see what this does. And if you don't know about this software is called Dehancer. Now, Dehancer is essentially a film emulation software. So it takes you through the process of taking your images and then utilizing various presets and different settings that you can switch and swap in order to make it look like film. If you are somebody who is not too familiar with heavy editing or doing things like that, this is both a replacement for editing as well as a good complement to editing. So if you're somebody who's looking for a film-like look and you're interested, I would say check out Dehancer. Now, we're going to flow through this really quickly. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to make sure you get an understanding for this. So right now, when you first open this, it's going to open into one of the folders that you have. Now, I went to an event called Empire Sumo. This was back in May, as you can see here, May 16th. And I can actually click this and it'll show me all my images here. Now, I'm not going to go through every single little thing that's on the panel. I'm going to leave some of that for you to find out, and I'm just going to double click a picture that I actually like. This particular picture, I saw this guy at the event. I liked his aesthetic, and so I snapped a shot of him. Have no clue who this guy is. If you know who he is, feel free to tag him because I can give him some pictures. They're just like sitting here. Anyway, I never posted these pictures, which is why I'm using these. So on the left hand side at the top, we see films and we see snapshots. Now, snapshots, I already know if I click this, it's going to give me a snapshot of what I already have in the window, basically with the settings that I may have changed that you see on the right hand side, but we haven't done that yet. So I'm going to delete that, get rid of it. I'm going to go back to films. Now, I know some of this stuff because I've kind of played with the plugin software before, so I got familiar with it. And in this, you have your Dehancer drop down, which you have your Dehancer presets, and then you can have your favorites that you've selected as your favorites. You have my presets, which you've created on your own and saved, and then imported ones that somebody else may have created and you decided to import for yourself. Underneath that, we have all films. You could choose color negative, motion picture, and any number of film types. All right, and then we have your film brands, right? We get, we could sort it by newest to oldest or names from Z to A to Z, or select the type of film. Now, let's say we want to select Kodak, one that's popular, Kodak Portrait 400, right? And let's say we're going with exotic, right? And what we'll have is this area on the left-hand side will filter with a bunch of different options. And you can see how they visibly look different. Now, this is what my image looks like. Already done, finished. It's perfect. I don't have to do anything to it. But let's say I wanted to do something to it. And I'm going to go with the Ambro type because it looks completely different than what I already have. I like how this looks. It gives a film aesthetic, an older film aesthetic. And what I can do at the bottom, you see there's a histogram, so you can tell where your levels are in the image, your highlights, your whites, shadows, midtones, and your blacks. On the right-hand side, we have a crop, where obviously we know what cropping does. I don't have to go into that. The source tells you where everything is coming from, what the color profile is, and then you can change some of the elements that are over here. And then we have film profile, right? And underneath that, the film profile is essentially what we just selected on the left-hand side. It lets you know what it is. These are your detail slots. So let's say I click Film Developer. Now I can shift my contrast boost up or lower it. It gives an even more older, antiquated look. I can change the gamma correction. See? So there are so many things that you can change about this, and I'm not going to have to go through every one of them, but I'm just showing you really quickly what some of the options are that you can do with these. So I can change my white point. If you look at in the background, you'll see some of that changing, the tonal range in and of itself, color density, which is very slight and subtle. Like if I were to zoom in, I'm using my mouse wheel if you're all wondering. You can see how it slightly is shifting. You may not even be able to see that in the video, but if you look at areas like right here, you can see the color density shift, right? But there are so many things that you can do within here. Like you can change your print profile. If I wanted to change the exposure of the print profile, the tonal contrast, color density of the print profile, there's so many different options. Color head, film grain. A lot of people associate film grain with film photography, and rightfully so, depending on the speed of the film and the number or the amount of light that you actually have coming into frame. But you can change the size of it, and let's change the amount. Let's see what we get if we zoom in a little bit closer. Maybe we'll see how that's adjusting more and more for the grain size. Make it smaller. I'm gonna leave it there and zoom back out just to see what we got. And oh, apparently if I hold down the space button, I can see what my original was, and I can see what the adjusted was. I kind of like that. Anyway, so we already know that we could shift and change shadows and midtones. Throw these highlights up. But this is all affecting the grain, right? Because that's specifically what it's about there. Then you have halation, which is a whole nother, bloom and halation is light intensity that you're gonna worry about. But I think these are really, really good for certain films that are designed to overexpose a little bit with certain lighting conditions or certain colors that you would naturally photograph. So if you're looking to give yourself some type of special effect, that would be a wonderful way of actually doing it. And then there's film damage. So let's go 16 millimeter, right? Let's go overscan. And this is what we're looking like with that. You see it's added the borders. So basically you get the actual physical representation of the film itself. So you have a few options, different things that this is going to show when you select these things. But again, there are a ton of options. We're talking about, we got output options, vignette, overscan, film damage, bloom, halation, film grain, color head, print, expand, film compression, film developer, and then back to your profile of film, your source, and your cropping ratio. So it's very robust. There are a ton of options that you can choose from, different things that you can use to manipulate and alter your photos. I just wanted to see what it was really quick. I might actually go through and fiddle around with this a little bit on my own. And then once I've done that, take that information and create something a little bit more in depth with how these things respond to certain settings that you push on them, and see how you guys actually like it. I do have a discount code, obviously. I wouldn't come here with nothing for you guys. So I'm gonna make sure that I post that discount code so that way you guys, if you're interested, I'm sure you are, because this is one of the most natural ways to have your stuff look like film if you are shooting digital. I'm going to post that and allow you guys to take advantage of the discount. Hopefully this helped you get an understanding of Dehancer. I actually think Dehancer is a great company. Their stuff has been rolled out very smoothly and it's seamless with just about any application. And now that they have this standalone desktop app, you don't have to worry about it relying on the other portion of your apps in order to do it. You can actually just go back to old photos you may have already completed, just throw them into Dehancer and then start manipulating them. Sometimes we like looking at older work, manipulating it and making it look into something new. So let's see how you work with it. Hopefully this helped, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.